Can I do the intro?
After you, please.
Okay.
Get it right.
I'm not. Welcome Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Thandie, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Joining me, as ever and always, is my fabulous co-host, who is wearing a chain that I bought him. You look fantastic, by the way.
Okay, I thought I'd put it out for everyone. Let them know. See how I get treated.
Like
you see how I'm getting treated? Do you know what I mean? She just said, "Hold that, something light."
This is the Rockefeller chain of being friends with me.
Join. I'm on a Rockefeller team now. Thank you, Thandie.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Nyasha, how have you been? Because we do a little segment where we talk for a bit, even though.
Yeah, no, I feel good. I feel great.
Right.
I'm ready to pod today. I'm energized. I've had about 4 cups of tea, and I'm good to go. I'm wired, and that can only be good for the product that we're about to put out. I'm excited. We've got a great guest as well. So
yeah, we do. I mean, we've had this guy before, and apparently people are calling you like now the cousin of the podcast. I saw this on Twitter this morning.
I like that.
I did see that.
You like that?
I like that.
Yeah, I saw that. Have you noticed how all our cousins are American?
Have
you noticed that?
That is true. Tommy, but yeah, other than Tommy. Yeah.
Tommy's international though.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean? So yeah, welcome to our guest, Darius Butler, who's actually fresh off a plane from Austin. Mate, and he's now in a hotel. See, I'm not
back. I'm back. I'm glad to be back. Fresh off a plane, like you said. Austin was crazy. It was a dope experience, environment. But glad to be here.
Man,
nice.
That's awesome, man. So, like, we know that you went to. Oh, sorry. Before we get on to that, look, Darius, I love you. It's not about it's neither here nor there about where you were, where I was. I need to get the people on this video to like, subscribe the video, and make sure you're giving us a rating on Spotify. Make sure you're all of that stuff. You guys need to do it, okay?
You know what? Like, I need people to follow us on Instagram because our Instagram following isn't up to par for my liking. I went TikTok. Yeah. Get on the
you guys got those TikTok streets?
We're not on the TikTok apparently.
Darius, I'm trying to get Thandie to get in her content creation bag. She's not doing that.
Y'all would kill TikTok.
Do you know what I mean?
Crush TikTok.
I need her to start getting these dances on the go.
Do you know what he wants me doing? God.
He needs to do these little...
all of it.
All of those little dances, but in the merch. Like, do you know what I mean?
No.
I need you
My nieces are really into the TikTok dances, so I'm going to have to get them.
Yeah, I feel like, the Instagram following will go up if you start doing the dances, you know what I mean?
Reels.
So, thank you. Yeah, reels. See, Darius knows, but Thandie says I'm on the Instagram, but she's just there. No dances. I need one dance. I need a one
maybe.
Dance.
Thank you for that, Nyasha. Nobody questioned why we're not asking Nyasha to do any dances, but that's neither here or there, is it? Like,
no one wants to see an uncle dance.
It's okay.
Maybe,
you're not an uncle.
No, thank you. But no, for real. I think for sure, add us on Instagram. Darius, I saw some interesting content on your Instagram. I saw you doing some sim racing. I saw you with a bottle of champagne bigger than my whole chest. I've seen you out there in Texas. You were obviously at Miami, which I think was your first F1 experience, right?
Yeah, it was.
And this is your second F1 experience?
Correct.
So you've experienced both F1 races, both races that America has to offer. I guess as a participant in, these weekends, as a relatively new fan as well, what are your thoughts on Austin, Texas? And I guess comparing that to your experience in Miami?
Well, Miami, everything was so new. Everybody was so excited about it. It was obviously we saw kind of the track. If you were from Miami, from down there, you saw the track kind of being built up over the months. So it was just so much excitement around it, and it was more kind of Hollywoodish, a little more glitz glamour, the big, stars everywhere, and everybody was kind of made it more like a Super Bowl event. That's what I would compare it to. The race was cool as well, but this, I felt it was more like, I felt more race fans were there. It was a lot more people who were, because this is the track. I'm not sure how long that track has been there, but, F1 comes there a lot, and it was a lot more race fans. The crowd was huge. So many people there. The crowd was so loud, so intense. I felt like this was a better track. Yeah, I'm no expert, but I definitely felt like this was a better track. The McLaren hosted me both times.
Oh, nice.
And they did an amazing job, outstanding job. But if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick the Austin track and experience in the race over what we had in Miami. But Miami was awesome as well. But I would give Austin, I would give them the lead in this one.
Nice.
For sure.
It's one of those, look, records crowds of 440,000 or so over the 3 days, which is incredible. And each year it gets bigger and bigger, Austin. Like each year they set a record for the record number of attendance.
Mm-hmm.
So
why do they love Daniel Ricciardo so much?
Because Daniel would wear the stupid hat. He used to wear the hat. Daniel will bring the horse. He's Australian, so he's racially ambiguous in the white world. Do you know what I mean?
The handlebar
There's got to be something.
He had
the beard. You can't do all that. You can't do all that shit. Then
they love it.
Don't even make it past Q1.
Yeah, I mean, look, who said that? Actually, I can't remember who said it, but someone was like.
But they love him out there, though.
On this podcast, someone was like, Daniel Ricciardo's love for Texas is kind of like
who was it?
Suspect. Like, like, why do you love, and you like all of like you're not there singing like WAP or like giving me like chopped and screwed music. Like you're there loving like cowboys and sheriffs and like all of the suspect things that someone would like from Texas. It's very, very.
Wait. Nyasha, I didn't know you knew about the chopped and screwed music. Oh, yeah, I'm well proud,
Oh, really?
I'm proper proud.
It inspired the t-shirt.
Yeah,
really? That's Houston. Okay, that's
education.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Someone's been reading my articles.
I have actually. So Daniel. Look, we'll get to Daniel because we're gonna do Star of the Day, Donkey of the Day later. So I'm sure he'll come up. Darius, and then I'll get to you, Thandie. Mm-hmm. Darius, I know that you were living the life, enjoying yourself as you should. Yeah. I guess, did word spread to everyone there? I guess in terms of the atmosphere surrounding Red Bull, there was a lot of talk about the fact that it came out that, they had been found to have, breached the cost cap. There was talk all week that they were going to meet with the FIA. They never did. Mm-hmm. Christian Horner was very much defensive about that, and I'll get to that. But I guess at the track, could you feel that, tension and negativity towards Red Bull, or was it, only in small pockets of fans?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say small pockets. During some of the times where some of the drivers would be addressing the crowds and stuff like that, they definitely gave Max some boos and Red Bull some boos. But being that it was in Texas, and this was definitely an observation, Checo Perez had a large contingency out there of obviously Mexicans and fans out there who really liked him. So and then once the race started, you saw a lot more Red Bull fans. You saw the signs, you saw the Max. So I wouldn't say, I would say probably like Friday, Saturday. Yeah. But as it got closer to race time, you definitely saw, all the Red Bull fans, all the Checo fans, and then all the Max fans as well. So, and seeing, where I was sitting, I was able to see all the drivers and the people. And Christian Horner, he looked very relaxed. He didn't look stressed at all. He was, waving to the paddock and everything. So he didn't look very, very cool. And I think someone passed. I'm not sure who it was. Someone passed related to Red Bull, and that was kind of a thing that was people were talking about. And I'm not sure. I don't know the history of it. But I wouldn't say it was much to it outside of that, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. Look, R.I.P. to Dietrich Mateschitz, I want to say, who is the head of Red Bull. He basically used to sell He built Red Bull. He used to sell toothpaste. Went over to in Far East Asia, discovered the Far East Asian version of Red Bull, brought that stuff over here, and the rest is history, basically.
Oh wow!
I'm not gonna get into. There's a lot of stuff around him. If you want to talk about that, you can talk about that on your platform. I'm not getting into it. We can discuss that outside of where I want to get paid. However, R.I.P.
Smart man.
Thank you, Darius. You know what I'm learning? Thandie's learning me. Okay, a few months ago I would have gone off. Not today. I'm still going off. But that did leave a mark on the weekend for Red Bull, and I guess because of that, they didn't discuss anything regarding the cost cap on Sunday, and that's their right to do so. Thandie?
Yes.
I guess
when you do this. I hate when you do this. I flinch.
Why'd you flinch?
Go on. Because you go Thandie, and then you
gave you that silence.
Pause. It's a pause.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's go.
I'm genuinely just trying to think of something to say. What I was going to ask was, I guess, has your opinion on Red Bull changed at all with what's happened? Right, it's kind of come out. Yeah, Christian was on the offensive very much on Friday, Saturday. In reply to Zach Brown, who said, if anyone who cheats needs to be punished accordingly and punished strongly. Christian Horner has come out and said, look, we've not cheated. We've spent maximum over 200 grand. It had nothing to do with the car. Mm-hmm. Kids are being bullied in schools because of this.
People said, cheers, kids are crying.
Yeah, kids cry, mate. How do you feel about it? Like Darius said, he seems very chilled about it.
He's relaxed. He looked relaxed to me.
I was on the Last Lap show last night. Shout out Tomo, shout out Aldous. Oh God, I should not have named everyone individually because I can't.
I thought you were going to leave it at Tomo still because he didn't even know who you were. Doesn't watch the show anyway.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, he didn't know who I was. So I was on that last night, and we did actually go through this when we were live watching the race. And since I wasn't well, I wasn't really too in my bag in absolutely.
Firing on all cylinders
on these people. So I'm going to do it now.
Give it to them.
Okay. Ooh. I'm just going to give you a little snippet, right? Okay. Oh, these people have left a bitter taste in the fans of F1. This is everybody who came from Drive to Survive till now. You're the villain, but you're not even likable. How is that possible? Everybody likes a villain. You're not even likable. I think Christian Horner's PR training over this weekend was amicable. Very good. I think he has the same PR trainer as George Russell. I think Red Bull as a whole have just proven who they are, if they are a team, a cult, whatever. My question to a lot of people has been, what do you want? What is the right punishment for this sort of stuff? Because we really need to use Red Bull as an example to say that these things are not acceptable. However, since Red Bull are in the pockets of F1 as a corporation, the FIA, etc., and a lot of these rich people, will we ever actually get the vengeance that we deserve? Let me not say vengeance because they might come from
say justice.
The justice that we deserve. I'm going to be very honest with you. A couple of points is not going to quench the thirst that I've had since freaking March when this entire shambles of a season started. So, I mean, you know what? This is what it is. I don't know what you want me to do. does not like.
You've put it eloquently. You've put it eloquently enough. You see,
how often for a newcomer like me? How often? Because even when I try to explain it to other people, they're like, "Oh, is that like going over the salary cap? Football is like how often does this happen?" And being that it was a couple $100,000, I mean that's a lot of money in my eyes. Even when you're talking car parts or staff or whatever. But how often is something like this?
Let me tell you. F1? Darius, this is the first year. Darius. They had a trial run last year. The FIA said you can bring your workings out and we will show you what you've done wrong. So next year you don't do that.
Someone should tell him.
This team, in the first year of the cost cap, 9 out of 10 teams have done what they needed to do. One team who's just so happened to end up winning the title for the first time in 8 years went over the cost cap. You cannot describe. Darius, it's like you say, people going over the salary cap in the NFL. And it's almost as if the problem is, the fact is, it's gone from this year. They've gained an advantage into this year as well. Someone said on Twitter, it's not just, Darius, the fact that, they won the title last year. And now this year they've won the title, right? Do you know the clout these men have got from being the ones who beat Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton last year? They signed a $500 million deal with Oracle. They're in bed with so many other sponsors now. Like, their brand has taken off. The Max Verstappen brand has taken off because he's the one who beat Lewis. The whole Abu Dhabi thing has grown them into
their entire brand has been built off this entire, we built Mercedes, we did this. Yeah. And then now it's like, where'd you get your money from?
Where'd you get it from? And look.
Yeah, and please, could we have a detailed receipt, please? I want everything. Down to who bought Christian's toothpaste. That's what I want.
Yes, please.
And so now the punishment is not, we're not expecting a significant punishment at all.
Of course not.
We're actually expecting, Darius, we're expecting them to go into what's called...
as I sip my Red Bull.
Yeah, I know, right? We're expecting them to go into a breach agreement. I can't remember, it's like an ABM. I can't remember what it stands for, but a breach agreement where basically they're going to negotiate. They're negotiating this whole week essentially for whatever punishment that they'll get. Okay. I don't know.
Apparently, they lose a lot more. They get into a bit more trouble if they go to court and they lose.
Yeah. So basically, if they refuse the agreement, then it goes to a panel. And the panel will decide, and that will be more severe. So they're probably going to take an agreement. They're probably going to lose some win time next year. They're probably going to lose probably financial penalty. And that's it. But we'll see. I guess, has it ever happened look, when Brady got caught deflating the ball, what was the punishment for the Patriots?
He deflated the ball.
Yeah, it was.
He just went.
So interested enough, that whole fiasco started in a game against us. On the team that I was on, in the playoffs. One of our players intercepted the ball, and we took it to our sideline. Our sideline guys were kind of like, "Hey, this ball feels a little weird," and then it went into a whole Deflategate thing. But when it all played out, they were going to court, and then basically Brady said, "Look, I'm not going to win in court against 30 billionaires, blah, blah, blah." They ended up, he was suspended for 4 games, which is that's a huge part. We only had 16 games at that point. So basically he was suspended for a quarter of the season, which is significant. I'm not sure what the owner of the Patriots, what he was fined or how much money he had to pay. But it was a big deal. Deflategate was a big deal. But we don't have, I know in basketball and the NBA, they have like, if they go over the salary cap, they have to pay like luxury tax, but it's not like real punishment. But I would think like when you're dealing with cars, when you're dealing with all the different things, and I played a video game. I played the airport game, so I know the sponsors and the money, and if I can do, and then like you said, they just won the championship, and then into this year, Max just tied the most wins in the season. Obviously, it's more races now, but he's got 13, so he has 3 more to get 14 and break that record. So it's a lot that have come. So it sounds like to me, if they're not going to get a significant punishment, it's money well spent.
Well, right?
So how does this, what precedent do you set going forward? That's what I'm.
So what? Wait.
Thinking.
So man just deflated the ball like he. I'm really confused. Like, how is that allowed? I don't really know. I don't really know a lot about NFL, but I feel like
it's not allowed.
It's not,
we were all supposed to.
Tom Brady needs to. Yeah, he needs to go. He needs to go home to his wife. You gotta go home. You know that scene of
Goodfellas.
You gotta go home.
Yeah, you gotta go home. What you doing?
You gotta go home.
You gotta go home.
It's looking rough for Brady right now, but it's different. So quarterbacks and teams like they like to do different things with the footballs. They get like a few days to kind of beat it up and do all these different things. And if you deflate it, it's easier to grip. Especially in like when it's wet or when it's slippery. So even if it's down a couple, whatever PSI, it's an advantage.
Difference.
So we should be playing on level playing fields.
And
but
I guess
gonna be interesting.
I guess this can speak to, and I guess it's really cool inside the mind of an athlete, right? When look, we can talk about, Christian Horner says it was only 200,000. Lewis says a new part is like, could be 200,000. And that new part could be a tenth a second. Martin Brundle said a tenth a second over a 60-lap race is 6 seconds, right? So like 6 seconds, that wins you the race. How many races did Max win by that much? Like doing. So I guess as a competitor, if you were to know that someone else has possibly gained an illegal advantage, whether that's in-game or over a season or in the back office, I guess as an athlete, how would you feel knowing that someone else's success could have been down to, we talk about like performance-enhancing drugs, right? And, sure, it might go on or whatever, but if someone gets caught doing it, then, I guess as an athlete...
If you've been caught red-handed, you should just be... I'm sorry. Oh, God.
It should. And that's what it is. So for us, it's like, and it's a saying in sports, right? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yes.
And I get that part of it, but I feel like it's a fine line between, gamesmanship and like bending the rules and getting away with certain things, and then just flat out cheating, like taking, steroids, taking PEDs, like that's flat out cheating. But if you, do something else, like, I can't even think of something right. Put a little extra stickiness in your gloves.
Yes.
So that's no gamesmanship. You get caught, you get caught. So it's different things. Cheating is cheating. I feel like gamesmanship, but there is a fine line. There is a gray area. But when you're talking about money, I feel like that's kind of black and white. It's like, hey, you can spend this much, you can lay it out, and then we go from there. So, and if this is the first year that they laid it out and they're doing it, the precedent that is set is big, because that's how business is going to be done. We also say this in sports too: do business as business is being done. So if they're letting you get away with a little holding or grabbing or tear or a little something under the pile, then you continue to do that.
No, 100%. Well, look, I feel like I've discussed this cost cap on the pod for like 4 weeks straight.
It's all right. It's your sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, it really is. I go to sleep at night and I just see Christian and Helmut Mark going,
get away from me. Cost cap. Don't you touch me.
So look, we had a race. Amid all of the drama. I've got a good race. Let's start. Okay, before we get to Lewis, let's start with a guy that we talk about on the podcast quite a lot, Mr. George Russell. So,
jeez,
Darius.
You know what?
Bye, George.
No, sorry, after you, Thandie.
Okay, so I feel like everybody's going to be really hard on George this race.
Yeah.
But here is my thing. If you have Checo in front of you, Checo's a weapon, you guys. You know, Checo's one of them things that you keep on the side. I've been saying it, you know, them things that you...
Okay. I got a little tutu, I call her Peggy Sue. Bang.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
The sound effects.
Listen, I'm not scared of a lot of things, but I would be very scared as a driver if Checo was in front of me. Now, I don't say this a lot, guys. You know me, I'm not about to big up no Red Bull. However, I'm ready to say it that... Do you remember when I was like, no, you're a presser?
Yeah.
No, you're a presser.
Okay.
I'm not here for any George Russell slander. I do feel like, okay, more could have been done, but less could have been done in this situation. I'm on George's side today.
Not me. I'm not on George's side. Listen, so going into this race, and this is, I was a little too invested. I had a bet that Carlos Sainz would make the podium. They look good. He was guaranteed. Fast all weekend. So I'm like, okay, he's starting to pole. It's gonna be a good race. He had good pace all weekend. I think he'll make a podium. First turn 1. I'm looking at the star. I see smoke. Once again, I couldn't really see the TV, but I'm like, who's out? They say Ferrari. I look down the pit. I see Carlos come in, and then I see the replay, and it was like, it looked. Once again, I'm no F1 expert. It looked bad to me. And this is the first full season I watched. This is the first time I've seen 63 do something very similar to that. So I'm like, come on, George. I feel like he's a more skillful driver than that. So I wasn't a fan of it at all. But, I guess it's a part of the sport. It happens. But, damn, George. Damn.
Look, I will shoot you both some bail, and I will play the fence and give my opinion. Perez was behind George, but I understand what you were saying in terms that you got to stay ahead, right?
Yeah,
you got to stay ahead. I understand.
Yeah,
and also too, Nico Rosberg was doing his analysis today, and he said, and they kind of said it. I think Ann Davidson said it as well, that George was on the inside. He was expecting Carlos to carry on round the outside, right? And he'd be able to take a shallower line and carry on. But Carlos Sainz tried to do the switchback on Verstappen, didn't see George there, and it was an accident. Now, it was still Darius George's fault. Again, let's not make any mistakes about that. It was George's fault, okay? But I'm not gonna. What I will say is this, guys, okay? Beginning of this season, Darius, I don't know, maybe because you were just getting into it, you might not have heard the whispers. There were whispers.
He's just called you a Drive to Survive fan, Darius. I would not have that. He said
cool.
you were a newbie.
I'm very, very much so. But I will say this, though. I'm not a Drive to Survive fan only because I actually caught it randomly. Which race was this? One race on ESPN, and I watched the lead up, the pit walk, which I saw some talks about the pit walk this weekend too. But I watched the whole coverage, and then I actually watched a full race. And then I was hooked from there. And then I went back and watched Drive to Survive. So I'll take the Drive to Survive.
You know what? I love Drive to Survive fans. Loads of our fans are Drive to Survive fans. They're the best ones. The ones who say they've been watching it since 1980, whatever. They're the
worst.
Worst ones. Honestly.
The worst.
Big up.
Those ones were like, well, this isn't like when in the 2000s when Schumi. Oh, please.
Bring back the V12 engines. Shit's over, bro.
Mate, get a grip.
No, but big up all of the older fans.
Yeah, please, big up the oldies. We love the OGs.
We love you guys that watch this channel.
They're the ones who buy the merch because they've got the savings. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Costs a pretty penny. So there were people at the beginning of the season when Hamilton was running setup sensors on the Mercedes car and he was doing alternative things. So
heard that.
George Russell was doing better than Lewis Hamilton, right? He missed the consistency. Hadn't finished missed the Saturday, hadn't finished outside the top 5 all season. There were people that were saying George Russell was dusting Lewis Hamilton. George Russell is a better driver than Lewis Hamilton.
¿Por qué?
And por qué? And I was trying to read out some stats from one of our followers has given us some.
We can do that because our editor is Mario. Mario speaks Spanish.
Oh right, yeah, no, he does. ¿Por qué? That's literally every week we come on here and disrespect Mario. So I'm gonna. This is from Egg Croissant, who says. Right. Since the weird setups ended in Canada, Lewis has out-qualified George 9-2 and out-raced him 8-3. The two qualifiers Lewis was beaten were in Austria and Hungary, which was a crash and DRS issue. The three races were Belgium, crash, Netherlands, strategy fail, and Italy, grid drop. So,
you know what? This is how fights used to start in school. There'd be a rumor going around like, oh, did you see them? Like, did we with an argument?
Hear what this person said about you?
Yeah. Did you hear what? I wouldn't have that. She said this about you, mate. She said meet her and the whole time the two people who are about to beef have no idea. If you ask that person, are you going to hit Lewis? He'd be like, no way.
No, he
could I
Lewis.
Even touch Lewis?
He's my idol.
How rumors.
That is how they. No. I'm saying I'm playing George. I'm
oh, okay, yeah.
What did George finish? P5?
George finished P5 today.
P5, yeah.
P5 yesterday, sorry. And look, I guess I would put it to you.
I think that's the best he could have done.
It's the best he could have done with the 5-second penalty he got and the damage to his car. Darius, you say you've seen George make a couple mistakes this season. As someone, you put yourself down. You're a very knowledgeable person, despite your tender years in the sport.
Very new. Yep.
How do you rate George Russell? I guess.
Oh, I mean, I would still say all those things. Very consistent. I feel like, how many races to begin the year when he was P5? And I'm not sure. I know everyone that I know that follows Mercedes absolutely hates this car.
Yes.
And they just speak so ill of it. But I think, I like him as a driver. It's just he has those kind of how you guys say Leclerc has a bozo gene or whatever. I feel like
he said that.
George I heard that on my spaces a few weeks back. I'm not going to put a name on it, but I heard someone say he has a bozo gene. George, he just gets careless at times. And I actually remember maybe a couple of years ago, was it Bottas? Before he became a Mercedes driver, when he was still Williams, and he had that crash with Bottas. So, it's just a thing with George, but he's a consistent driver. And once again, that's a part of the sport. And I like him in that second seat in Mercedes, though, that second seat for sure. But Lewis, man, it was so. I had like a surreal moment, like watching that race.
Yeah.
And actually seeing Lewis out there, seeing, that helmet, like literally looking down and seeing him in the pit and coming out. And I mean, you couldn't tell me he wasn't going to win that race. I'm like, he's got to win this race. Like, I'm sitting right here. And then, but Max ended up getting it. But it was amazing to be able to see that moment. That's something I'll never forget.
I am very jealous. I'm not gonna lie. Thandie.
What?
What do you really hate it? I'm trying to just direct the traffic.
I'm so sorry.
Lewis, he was at a football game too a couple weeks ago. And,
he was at the Broncos game.
Yeah, Broncos. Yeah. Part owner of the Broncos. Yeah. And over here, man, like everyone, I mean, that's like, you talk certain sports, it's certain names that are synonymous with that sport. Like
somebody told me that the Broncos suck.
They stink this year. They stink this year. We signed Russell Wilson, got him they signed Russell Wilson. But I'm rooting for him. Now that Lewis is a part of the ownership group, we don't have many black owners in the NFL. So being that he's a part of that, I'm definitely rooting for him. But Lewis Hamilton is, if you don't know anything about F1 over here, Lewis Hamilton. So to see him being a part of obviously the NFL and then actually seeing him in person racing, I think they had Shaq. Shaq was on the grid. They had Shaq. Hey, how much you know about F1?
Yeah, he was like Lewis Hamilton.
like that's all you need to know over here for us. That was unforgettable moment for me.
Fun fact. Little sidetrack here. If anyone was watching our socials, at the start of last week, me and Nyasha went to a Netflix event. we got invited to a Netflix event, and it was a lot.
Come on, you know, we're kind of
big flex.
Yeah, it's like something light. And, you know, I was just drinking Squid Games cocktails in the Netflix office on Tuesday, light Tuesday night.
Something like. So this event was full of influencers. It was full of like TikTokers, just a lot of.
Can I just say quickly before you carry on with the story?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is going to be a bunch of sports content creators, be like sports. I'm in the lobby waiting for Thandie to go to the toilet, yeah? I see the most gorgeous 7-foot Amazonian man in a skirt and a woolly vest. And I said, okay, fair. I was like, I wonder what sport he does. I wonder what sport he's Formula One. And then I saw this other fabulous, like short blonde lady. Everyone was looking fabulous. I'm there in my team merch. I'm like, oh, this event is a proper event.
You know what's so funny? The marketing guy from Netflix was like, he looked us over and he went, oh, you guys came dressed up.
We came in our merch thinking this is some kind of sports event. But look,
listen, I look fly all the time.
You look great.
I don't know what you're chatting about.
I looked like a guy who was going to a sports event. Carry on.
Anyway, yes. No, you didn't. You looked great. He was wearing purple trousers, you guys. Anyway, so we're in this event. There's loads of like cool people. I'm in music, so a lot of the people I already kind of was like, hey, you're right. And they were kind of looking at me like, why are you here on Formula One thing and not a music thing? A lot of people were like people me and Nyasha know on Twitter, but we've only ever met on Twitter. And there'd be writers who I'd want to go, I'd be like, oh my God, Nyasha, I love her material. And you know what Nyasha said to me? He was like, oh no, we can't go up to her. And I said, why?
This is not true. This is, you see how I like sometimes I know
anytime somebody stops somebody's story and says it's not true, it's probably true.
No, you know what Thandie does there? Thandie, like, she's like the finest seamstress in the land. She will sew in and out of the truth to make it seem.
How is this? How is this not the truth? This is the truth. This is the truth, you guys. Dead serious, because I've been ill and in bed laughing at this for about a few days. We could not go up to certain people, because I don't know if anyone follows Nyasha on Twitter, but he's a bit, he says what he wants, yeah? There's this one writer I've eyed her. I'm like, I love her shit. Like, I've got her book. I'm going to go up to her. Let's go up to her. What does Nyasha say? He goes, no, we can't go up to her. I said, why? He said, she blocked me because I said Russell Wilson is corny.
Okay, see how this is what I mean about Thandie, in and out of the truth, right? The truth
That's
is
what you said.
No, the truth is this. We used to follow each other. She unfollowed me because I said Russell Wilson is corny.
It's corny.
Okay, he is. Mr. Unlimited. Like, he is. Look,
I think he tries to be corny.
Yeah, he is lovely. I love how he loves his wife.
Listen, I'd be corny too if I had my lovely children, my lovely house, my lovely wife. Like
yeah, no, for sure. I think people live vicariously through his wife. I'm not gonna lie, but that's neither here nor there. So, like, we actually went up to this person in the end, and we actually spoke to them, and I told them how much I loved her. We watched The Crown premiere with this person. We stood outside and spoke to this person for like 15 minutes. So the story that Thandie is telling is not true. The correct story was people would go up to her and say, oh, Thandie, how you doing? And they would just ignore me, basically. They would just literally not say.
I'm like, this is my co-host Nyasha. And they'd be like, is this the nigga from Twitter? Is this the guy from Twitter? That's what they wanted to say.
These people are turning up in Crocs and socks. I'm supposed to respect them. Fuck that. Anyway, so look, this is not what we should be doing with our time about Netflix. This is you're talking about messing up the bag.
Shout out Netflix for inviting us. Shout out Netflix for inviting us.
Shout out to Netflix.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for inviting us. And thank you for that interlude, Thandie. We had a great time at Netflix. what I wanted to talk about was Lewis, right? And I think it's really cool you got to see that at the race, Darius and Thandie. You know, we all love Lewis. How did you feel watching? I guess, you know, we had Bono say it's hammer time. We had, you know, Lewis out at the front. You know, incredible pace. We had a safety car situation which worked almost in our favor for once. How did it feel? Although I think that was actually all after we got past, so it actually didn't work in our favor. But how did you feel seeing Lewis back at the front and challenging for race wins again?
It looked right. You know, it looked normal. I brought my best friend was with me. He's even more of a newbie than I am. He played in the league for a while as well, and I'm getting him into it. But once again, he only knows Lewis Hamilton. So him being in the front, you know, most people wanted him to pull it off. But it was crazy because every time, like when he did have the lead, every time they came around, like you just saw that gap getting a little bit smaller. I'm like, damn, I looked at my boy, I said, yeah, he got about 3 more laps and it's a wrap. And that's literally how it happened. Like that, you know, the Red Bull, that car was just, you know, it was too powerful. And I think, was Lewis on hards at that point?
Yeah, so they didn't have any more fresh mediums left. So they had to put hards on. But also, if you look at the way that their tire degradation was, I think if he'd put mediums on, it might have even happened earlier, to be honest. The way that, you know, we weren't really able to keep our tires in the window as long as Red Bull were, and that's just because of downforce and degradation. But, you know, he gave it such a good go. Thandie.
Yeah, brake issues too, right? Because I got an update saying he was doing something.
He did.
Before the racing started.
And at the beginning of the race, they were working on his brakes. Like, I think they had 15 minutes to change his brakes. He was saying that they were pulling to one side more than the other. And I think during the race, he was saying this car is horrible to drive. So having all of that and still close, having that pace, outpacing a Ferrari on pure pace, I just think, you know, he's incredible. Before I get into what I need to say and get off my chest, how did you find it, Thandie?
I mean, you go first and I'll follow. You go first and I'll follow.
I don't really have anything to say.
You do. Of course you do.
I don't want
Go on.
I got nothing to say. What more can I say? What more can I say? Like, honestly, I'm telling you now, it is ridiculous. I'm sick and tired of people disrespecting this guy. People saying he should retire. People saying he's not got it anymore. I'm seeing my own brother make YouTube videos, cameras asking, is he over the hill? Which hill?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Your little brother.
I didn't say little brother. I said my brother. He is my brother. And he's allowed to make those videos. And it was a very balanced video about, you know, there's no world champions over the age of 38. No one's...
Yeah, we'll link that in the bio.
We'll link it in...
How old is Lewis now? Sir Lewis?
38?
37. So he's old. So by the time next year comes around, he'll be 38.
That's not old.
It is old in F1 terms, right?
Okay.
I don't think anyone's actually ever won a race after the age of 37, 38. So,
but see, that's what he's trying to do.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Black athletes are built different. Black athletes are built different. Let's talk about Serena. Exactly.
LeBron.
LeBron.
37, I think.
Look at Tiger's comeback after everything that happened as well. You know,
Brady's not black, but Brady just won a Super Bowl like 40.
Yeah, right.
So it can be.
How old do you say Bolt? Well, Bolt's not really in action at the moment.
Bolt wasn't 30 something. Oh, no, he wasn't like 37, 38. I don't. Oh, maybe he was.
He took care of business and got out of it.
I don't know if he was 37, 38. But look, we have to.
Wait. Speaking of another old guy, Fernando Alonso. And I know he got the 30-second
opportunity
after, but That accident, I still don't know who was really at fault with that accident, but I did see him coming with that.
Well, Fernando seems to think that something big's gonna happen on Thursday since his rear wing was. He seems to think something real big history in F1's about to happen.
I'm gonna get to that actually because I've got a little something for Alonso, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I am going to get to.
Yeah.
Lewis have his mirrors.
But I just need to let me just get this shit off, please. Let me just get this shit off. But anyway, look. All I want to say is that it was so good. It was so good. To just feel something this season.
You felt something. I was numb.
I felt I had heart rate was going. I was sweating. I was drinking. I was praying. I swear I've never prayed for someone's downfall so much. And then Max's tire gun. I hope it's that F1 Red Bull mechanic that's blocked us for no reason. I hope it was your gun that failed on that car. And it was just like so good to see Lewis fighting at the front again, showing why he is the greatest of all time, right? And I think it shows that he's got a lot more years in him. And I think, like you said, if Mercedes give him a car that is capable of winning races, he will win races. And I think that is undoubted. And I think it's a message to people like George, to people like Charles, to Max. I think, this guy is not going anywhere. And if you want to win titles, you are going to have to go through him. And, you would hope Mercedes will come with a car which is at least 0.3 of a lap quicker than what we've got this season. And if it's that, then he'll be capable of winning races every week. And we could be in for more classic F1 races. Alonso. Let's do Alonso. And then we'll do quickly stars of the day, donkeys of the day. Alonso. Okay. And Stroll. Alonso and Stroll. One, did you see the accident, guys?
I saw it. I didn't see it on TV. Yeah. I wish I would have been able to see that one on TV. But it looked weird. It happened on the back straight, right?
No, it was a back straight. Lance Stroll. I don't know. Lance Stroll recently has been on.
No, don't say recently. Stop it now. Stop it now. Not recently. We don't want to gas him up too. No, not recently.
He's been doing well. He has been doing well.
Okay.
Since the summer break, I would say he's been doing well.
What's made you think that apart from Austin?
He's had good results. What do you want me to say? I don't know. He's had good results. I know. Look, he's never going to be fighting for podiums or whatever.
I was so happy to see him up there in P3 for as long as he lasted, honestly. I was really happy for him. I was make sure everyone's getting all the pictures, all the angles.
I'm sure his dad was taking pictures.
I'd be a proud dad too.
Look, you got to be proud to buy your son a whole fucking F1 team.
I'd do that. I'd do that. I'd do that, yeah. I'd do that.
I wouldn't. No free clout. But look, Alonso was looking to pass Stroll on the straight and he moved to overtake him, and last minute Stroll moved in the braking, not even in the braking zone, just as he moved, and Alonso did a wheelie pretty much.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Crashed into the wall. And, managed to recover back to 6th place, which was ridiculous. Unfortunately, I am just going to read what happened to him afterwards because he is not happy. So
I got a video on my Twitter too of him getting that front wing replaced at his pit stop.
Oh, really?
We'll insert that.
I got a nice drive to survive. I'll send it to you. So
send it to Thandie. We'll
insert that. Yeah,
because they can't DCMA that one. We own that shit.
No, that's mine. That's on my iPhone.
Black owned content. So Fernando Alonso is not happy. It says a penalty received in the United States Grand Prix raises questions about the direction of the sport. Basically, he said, it's one of those rare times in sport that I feel we are all on the same page and share the same opinion towards rules and regulations.
Oh, is it?
Oh, it's so?
Oh, is it?
You know what Alonso's like, yeah?
Wait,
you know what Alonso's like, yeah? Alonso's like those white people who like around the time of like the George Floyd stuff, they wouldn't really ever care about racism before. Then they'd read like a book and they come up to you and they say, I never knew it was that bad for you.
The worst.
Oh my God.
There's people who like there's people who be like, oh, like I am an ally. Anything you need, I am sorry.
Hey, tell me what I can do better. What can I do better?
I prefer the people that just continues to act like it doesn't exist.
Bro,
just continue to call
unbelievable. Darius, now he says that, now we share the same opinion. But when it was Abu Dhabi, this guy couldn't give a shit. I just find it hilarious. I find it hilarious all the pundits sharing his story and so forth.
To be honest, do you know what? Alonso's been on our side ever since they automatically just turned off his car that time when he was ahead of Max. Remember that time when he was ahead of Max and his car just switched off randomly?
In Singapore, I believe. The gods were just like, turn your shit off.
No, the gods or somebody went...
You see,
yeah.
Darius, but sorry, this is our conspiracy theory that the FIA just have a button which can turn your car off.
Turn this car off.
Yeah,
that's how it sounds. Y'all sound like
since then,
table.
I mean, like ever since then, he's been screaming Alonso lives matter, and I'm here for it.
Look, he really does hate the FIA. But look, that crash was mad. And look, again, I think we're seeing with this crop of drivers, look, Haas are wondering whether to keep Mick Schumacher. They tested out Antonio Giovinazzi. He crashed in 10 minutes. I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot of good drivers out there. And I think it shows just how good the era of, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, people like Kimi Räikkönen and all of that actually were, because if there were better younger drivers coming through, then we wouldn't have Alonso in the sport. But he is still so good that he could get that result. Okay, quickly let's go with star of the day.
Ooh, I had not thought. Okay, go on.
Darius, do you have a star of the day?
Oh, I mean, that Alonso performance was special, but he did get the 30-second penalty. Yeah. I'll go with the old guy. One of you probably take Hamilton, so I'll go with Vettel. I like what Sebastian Vettel did.
It's so shameful that you come on this podcast and you already know.
What's that? What I know?
Yeah, I get shamed, Darius, for supporting and uplifting the greatest driver of all time. Like, I feel like...
I know. Somebody's gonna go as you should.
See,
so I'll go with somebody. I'll go Sebastian.
Thank you. No, Sebastian Vettel had a really good race. He got hampered by his team's
Vettel did have a great race. Yeah.
He had a great race. He held Lewis up for a little bit as well. He really, since he has announced the retirement, he's actually had some really good races. And you know what? Sometimes I feel bad. About how much I tease Sebastian. Like,
on that subject, I really would like to say something to you guys, to the fans listening. Valtteri Bottas, yeah. You
want to apologize?
He's doing really well. I can maybe want to apologize, but at the same time I don't. He's doing really well. I think last year when I said some nasty things about his credibility as a driver, I didn't mean it. I think I was talking out of anger, but mate, he's doing so well in that Haas car, and I'm really, 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 really happy for him. So yeah, I do want to put it out there that Valtteri Bottas, I think I'm kind of slowly becoming Bottas fan again.
Wow. Sorry, Darius, I don't know if you know the history, but at points last season, we became very frustrated with Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great teammate. Great Robin. Great sidekick, you know?
He was like a wide receiver who would occasionally fumble big game catches.
You're so cute. I love how he brings his little NFL.
I like the football.
Like, do you know what I mean?
You're
like,
very cute.
He would be able to, like, he's reliable, but in big game moments, maybe, your fourth down, you've gone for it, and he's fumbled.
He drops.
And it's one of them, like, if you were in a relationship with him, sometimes you look at him from across the table and you're like, do you actually love me? Or are you actually because I'm cooking for you and I wash your underwear and I do a lot for you and you're just here for that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Are you here for, because I treat you like your mother? Or because
are you actually here to be
me?
my teammate in this relationship?
Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah. I hear that. Look,
he was doing well too early this year.
He was. You see his hair. I don't know if he's got like a Lewis.
I love it.
I don't know if Lewis gave him his hair guy, but
it's definitely giving European.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely giving newly divorced, and I love that for him.
He's newly divorced.
2019, I think, and he's been with his missus since. He seems to, but she designs all of his helmets. And when he does the helmet designs,
lovely.
They're really cute.
Does he get you someone who uplifts you?
They do.
Man?
She's like a Olympic cyclist, so they do like cycling training together.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Yeah, no, he's really happy. Bless him. I do love that for him. Who do I want to give? Oh shit! Did you actually say Valtteri's your star of the day?
No, don't be stupid.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Who's your star? Who was your star of the day?
I don't like
my star.
There's a couple
you
of
know
good drives.
What? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna give accolades to Vettel. Absolutely amazing drive. His little end of the last lap was fantastic.
Yeah. Really good. Really good for Magnussen.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna give it to Ocon was great as well. Love Ocon. He's a recent new fave. Why are you saying?
No, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. That's my guy.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Hey.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah.
Yuki moved places. He moved mountains.
He did.
He said, I am out in the wild, wild west and I'm going to show you this is my rodeo and I'm very proud of him.
Ooh,
you like that?
Bars. The bars.
I like it. Bars.
And that's bars. Look, I love that. You know nothing about that.
But I think my overall star, Lance Stroll. I give it to him.
You're going to give it to Lance, who caused the 300 kilometer an hour accident. Good, I like it because it was on Alonso and he deserves all of that. Yeah. So, hey, he came out.
Oh, didn't have his mirrors either.
He's fine, okay? He didn't have a mirror. He's driving around in an unsafe vehicle, okay? The rules are the rules. I don't know why he's protesting, okay? Good. Lance Stroll did well.
It's a proud moment.
Well,
look,
Alonso,
Dad's no hands. That's what Lance Stroll said.
Yeah,
look, Dad, no hands.
I like it. What's that? The Waka Flocka Flame song. Got the way you moving, got me in the trance. You just let me up. Ladies, it's your chance. Come on. Anyway. Go jump into the floor.
I love that. Chris, note that down for the edit. That's got to go in.
So I started.
Do you know what? You guys were talking about Waka Flocka Flame. I thought you were talking about that video with the sign language woman. Have you not seen that?
I missed that.
There's a video of Waka Flocka Flame. He's on stage and sign language woman, and he goes up to her and like he thinks she's dancing, but she's actually doing sign language.
Doing sign language, it's
wow, I didn't see that one.
It's funny, but it's not funny. It's not funny, but it is funny.
I'm looking for it right now.
It's just your face. It's just that meme, you know, that woman who's like chewing gum, like.
I'm definitely gonna look for it.
Oh my God! So whilst Thandie's looking, I'm just gonna say my star of the day is gonna be my star of the day is gonna be Lewis. Obviously, greatest driver of all time. Respect him. I just think people need to respect his name. Also, a friend sent me a voice note earlier today, and they said something very poignant. Very poignant. They said the other drivers on the grid couldn't walk a mile in the shoes Lewis has had to walk in, right? The adversity he's had to go through, the trials and tribulations he's had to go through, the ups and the downs. For him to recover from last season, come back and still put in the performances that he's done this season, to still motivate his team. I think this season is weird, even though he's not won. I think it proves more than ever this argument that he was a talentless guy who just stepped into a rocket ship and won races. I just think when you look at his performances this season in a car which is awful, sometimes in certain races, being able to lap as fast as he is, lapping faster than cars which are a lot better, I just think he deserves a little more respect. Yesterday was my favourite race of the year so far. It was just
really? Was that because he got P2?
I think the hope.
Right.
Like the hope.
It was nice. Yeah.
It just felt nice to have hope.
Bono even said it. Like, did you see that little clip of him and Bono and the sat?
The most inspired P2 I've ever been involved in.
Yeah. And it's like, damn.
Very, very nice.
Nyasha, you're my Bono.
That would make you Lewis. Okay. I'll take it.
See what I did there?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. You are the Lewis. You are the star. Guys, quickly, donkeys. Any donkeys?
George Russell.
George Russell
is my donkey of the day. Ruin my damn.
Damn.
I don't care how bad it looks.
Damn. I just take it easy on him, man. Take it easy on him. Take it easy on him. Who's my donkey? I'm not gonna lie to you, Wait, give me a sec. I was gonna say Carlos Sainz, but that's not fair.
You always do that to him, but it's not his fault. You just expect a lot. I know. Someone would argue, what is he doing?
He's had a very unlucky year.
You know what? I'm going to give it to the guy who brought a horse along with him all the way for a whole big old show to do fuck all. That's what I'm going to give it to. You absolute joke, man. Get out of here. Take a year out. Go to the beach. Get some sunscreen. Drink a Guinness. Work on your alcohol brand. Do a Vanity Fair spread where you're not dressed absolutely ridiculous. Do something with yourself. Daniel. But don't come back to Formula One for another year. Maybe you could be a reserve driver if you keep everyone's contacts. Maybe IndyCar.
Yeah.
IndyCar.
I mean, Darius. I mean, I can't agree more with that. Darius, I guess, as someone who
IndyCar,
as someone who watched Drive to Survive, you can see Daniel as a popular figure in America, very popular figure on the grid. I guess. What are your thoughts on what looks like and I guess maybe from an athlete's point of view, right?
Sometimes he just lost. I feel like when I watch him, he just lost it. Whatever it was that he had, and you have the Vettels and the Alonsos and the Lewises, and you do have people who can sustain, greatness or being very, very good for a long time. But the norm is to fall off at some point. Like that's what happens in sports. We see it all the time, but then you see the greats always, on TV or whatever. And it's such a competitive sport to get into. But when I watch him, and I know, I guess Lando likes the car better, or it's more tailored to Lando than it is to him. But it's just he's underwhelming. He's underperformed for a while since maybe since he left Red Bull.
Well, he did okay at Renault. It took him.
I'm so sick of you, Renault sympathizers. Please.
Since he left Renault, since he left there, these last, it's just. So that's my take. Like, once again, I don't know the ins and outs of why he stinks, but he stinks right now. All right, I'm gonna just say it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Look, Daniel Ricciardo, like, respectfully, get the fuck out of here. Skedaddle.
Bitch ass niggas, y'all niggas can't be around here no more. Get the fuck out.
I got a McLaren hat on too. Sorry, Daniel. Sorry, Honey Badger.
Sorry, Honey Badger.
Sorry, Honey Badger. Oh, is that a McLaren match?
Yeah, it's the.
You see?
Fire. Oh my God, it's
still kind of fire still. Let me see.
Is that two-tone on the hat?
They got me right.
They got you right. Look, respectfully, I'll add respectfully to Daniel, but it's a shame, and the thing is, what I would love is for him to be like, I'm leaving. And then we can kind of, like Seb's getting this celebration now, and we'll all be able to say goodbye to him properly, and we'll all be able to kind of have that moment. I think Daniel Ricciardo is robbing his fans of like being able to properly say goodbye to him. You know when boy bands break up, they're like, oh, we're just One Direction. They said we're taking a sabbatical. That sabbatical's gone on for nearly a decade now. Those guys are not getting back together. Harry's gone. Zayn's doing his thing. I'm just saying.
Harry's sleeping with people's wives. Zayn has a child with a
Zayn has a child, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Liam's painting.
Liam has a British, American, Australian accent.
I don't even know why I mentioned One Direction, but that was the first. I'm tired. It's 1 o'clock. But anyway. No one got to say goodbye to them properly. No one's going to be able to say goodbye to Felipe Massa. Do you remember when he retired? He's walking up and down the pit lane crying like, man, I'm leaving.
Felipe Massa was shedding tears. You know what I mean?
And Daniel Ricciardo would be nice to say goodbye to him, but because what is a reserve? You're a reserve driver. No one's going to want you back, bro. This shit that you're pulling out. Look,
but you'd rather do the reserve driver thing unless you do go to IndyCar. It worked out for Grosjean.
Look at Marcus Ericsson. He nearly won the whole fucking thing this year. Look, I'll say that.
Yeah. Kimmy's doing NASCAR.
Yeah. Jesus age. Okay, I'll do my donkey and we can go. My donkey is Red Bull for being too sad to talk about the cost cap.
No.
Partying like it's 1999. And what do you mean?
No.
Why not?
We can't do that. We can't.
They said we're look, I'm just saying, I just find that.
Listen, a man died. Right.
Okay.
Right, okay.
You're an enabler. You're a whore enabler.
2, 3.
So, my donkey of the day. Keep it in. My donkey of the day is I'm looking down the grid. I'm gonna say,
I think I know who you should say, but if you say his name,
I don't know what who Mick Latifi.
Okay, no.
Driver. A driver. Who are you thinking?
I thought you were going to say Pierre.
No, I'm very indifferent to Pierre. I'm not going to lie.
Right, okay.
I think Yuki.
Don't pay attention.
I don't pay attention to him like that, to be honest. Latifi span on his own again.
Isn't that your goat?
Don't ever Who?
Ask him. No, Darius, don't ask me who. Ask him who. This man loves goat Tiffy.
Poor goat Tiffy.
That's your guy.
Saw him bringing up the rear the whole time. Like, what happened to that?
He's just spinning.
Poor guy.
Darius, you know when you used to invite your friends over and your little sibling would just start acting up in front of them? That's what Thandie's doing right now.
Listen, there are podcasts episode that show this man is a Latifi fan. Chris is listening, but Chris listens to the podcast. Chris knows damn well. We know you're a Latifi fan.
Okay. I you know what? I'm gonna let it ride because I'm gonna let it ride, but I don't like that guy. Anyway, look, I can't think of anyone past Latifi. I just think he's got to go. He's awful. I feel sorry for Mick. I think he got caught out with the safety car and strategy. I want him to get that seat at Haas, but I just don't think he's going to get it. But overall, good weekend, to be honest. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Very entertaining race.
Very entertaining weekend.
Yeah, they did a lot. Sky News were obsessed with the idea of Brad Pitt being there. Like, we saw a lot of clips of Brad Pitt. Like, was that necessary?
I mean, if there's things you don't really want to get into, I mean, that's a whole thing in itself, to be honest. And I think we're late in the day on that. What I do want to say, actually, my donkey of the day, thank you, Thandie, for reminding me.
Go on.
Is one William Buxton.
Right. Why?
Will Buxton tweeted the following. Oh my God, the girlies are fighting. Let me tell you now, Darius, this is hilarious. So
I saw Brundle quote tweet him.
Yeah. So Will Buxton said, another US GP, another reminder that all grid accredited media are given a list that every race, capital letters, of which media invitee / celebrity is and isn't approachable for interview. Pitt hadn't been on any of the days he was present. For reference, on our F1 TV grid walk, it's always about the cars and the drivers, who is where and why. If we grab an interview, it's rarely with the celeb, unless we know they're invested in the sport and available to chat. Because for us, the celebrities are the ones in the cars. That's from Will Buxton. Martin Brundle pulled out the little Peggy Sue from his. Hey, you know when someone pulls out the gap from their sock?
You mean the Checo Perez?
Yeah, just
you mean the Checo Perez?
The little Checo. He's called him his little hombre.
You're so stupid. Oh, it's all right because we have Mario.
You
sound like white people be like, oh, it's cool, I got a black friend.
Yeah, exactly. That is so bad. We can't actually keep using him.
No, we actually have to stop.
That's bad. You
first.
Yeah, no, I will. So he said, that's simply untrue, Will. Don't make things up to suit your narrative. Martin Brundle said, keep my name out your mouth, okay? Keep my mouth out your dirty mouth. I don't want to go up and down embarrassing myself for 25 years. Brundle said, you're a little mini-me. You know when idols become rivals? That's what's happened there. Will Buxton's got a bit above his station. He needs to realise that he is a Poundland Martin Brundle. He is a mere copycat version of Martin Brundle. He needs to pay respect and homage. It's like homage. I'm trying to think. It's like when all these little rappers try to compare themselves to like Lil Wayne. It's like, no, he is your father. Do you know what I mean? Respect him. Anyway, big shout out to Weezy, the GOAT. He's not the GOAT, but that concludes.
He's up there.
He's up there.
I would say
Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
put him on Mount Rushmore.
Okay, quickly. What? How many is on Rushmore? 4.
4.
Okay, what's your Mount Rushmore rappers?
Oh man, put me in the spot. You go, ladies first.
Okay. Hove.
Agreed.
Is this my personal?
It's gotta be yours. Your personal.
I can do mine very quickly.
Okay, go on. You do yours. I have to think mine.
Hove, Wayne, Drake. He who shall not be named because he is doing a madness right now.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
That's my fault.
That's mine as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take that one too, Nyasha, because that is a very smart one. I might replace.
Yeah, sorry.
Just to add a bit of woman in there, I might replace
Nikki.
Drake with
Lauryn Hill.
I wish I could, but I'm just gonna maybe Lauryn Hill or Nikki.
Missy Elliott.
Missy, see, this is a whole different conversation because we should even do like Mount Rushmore's of the alternative rappers. Because if we were to do that, I'd be saying Currency Spitter. I'd be putting freaking Larry June there.
You do love a bit of Larry.
Nipsey Hussle.
I do love Larry. Nipsey.
I'm a big Nip fan. Big Nip fan. But I'll stick with that. That was a good four.
What would you listen to before a game?
Oh, I would listen to everything, honestly. Yeah. I would listen to everything. Yeah, everything from R&B to sometimes mellow out, chill out. Cause I get hyped first.
Yeah.
Then as
Darius,
I get closer, I get my heart rate back down.
Are you
right before I go out there?
Darius, are you in talks of R&B? Are you a Joe Thomas person or a Donnell Jones person? There's only one right answer, by the way.
If I had to pick between the two, I'm Donnell Jones.
Smart.
Yeah, I'm Donnell Jones. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But two legends.
I don't really like listening to like wet music. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to hear about like cocaine and hoes, but honestly, I don't have time to
wet music.
Like, I don't
using that one.
I don't want like feelings, Darius. I just been listening to Jeezy all weekend. Okay.
Oh no. I gave that a new listen too.
Oh my god.
I was listening to Volume 1.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was listening to Friend or Foe a lot. I had that on repeat.
That's good. That's good.
That's a song for the trailer, by the way.
For the trailer. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, look, let's bring this to a close. Darius, I know you're tired. I really appreciate you coming on, man. Like, this has been a lovely pod, and I'm so happy we got to do it.
It's been fun.
I wanted to ask you, before you came on, you could not announce that you had something coming up, but you're part of a show on. I don't want to get it wrong. Is it Fox?
NFL matchup. ESPN.
ESPN. I knew it. I was ESPN. Well done. You're an NFL matchup. How is that going, man? Like you're on cable.
Yeah, it's awesome. it really is. It's an experience. It's what is it? I'm going into week 8 now, so it's been flying by. But ESPN NFL matchup, one of those shows. The show's been around since before I was born, 1984.
Wow.
And it's real. It's real. Analytical. And you get into the X's and O's and really the weeds of the game, and that's right up my alley. So I'm able to do that. Every weekend it comes on over here. Saturday morning and then twice again on Sunday morning. And then you can stream it on ESPN Plus. Nice. And then I have a YouTube show as well that I do with my guy Pat McAfee on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Yeah.
Well, I keep seeing you on the Pat McAfee. I was like, this guy. I was like, this guy is everywhere. Pat McAfee show is just to describe, like I love Pat McAfee. I didn't even realize. So I watch wrestling, right?
Big WWE fan?
I am, yeah. Okay. I do watch wrestling. So I've seen he commentates, right? And so I'm like, oh, I love this guy because I only got back into it like recently, like maybe like I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid, and then into like 21, 22. Then I stopped watching. Now I watched it again. And then I never knew he'd done all this other stuff until someone said to me, oh, you've got Darius Butler on the show. He's on the Pat McAfee show. I was like, Pat's got his own show. Then I read up about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Pat was a kicker. Like, I had no idea about the level of this guy. Like,
that's when you know you're doing something right. That's when you know you're doing he's in the wrestling world, and some people don't know he played football, and then him on YouTube, and people don't know he does wrestling. Now he's on College Game Day with ESPN, but he was commentating with SmackDown. He actually wrestled at WrestleMania. Which was absolutely wild. He wrestled Stone Cold and freaking Vince McMahon. So that was absolutely nuts. But I'm on his show every Wednesday and Thursday. I'm live on his show in the studio, and I have my own podcast, obviously Man to Man Pod. It's Mondays and Thursdays. And I'm on FanDuel TV too with Kay Adams on her show.
As well.
Yeah, I'm moving busy. It's been a busy year. But, like we talked about the last time I was on the show, that's been the plan, just to keep moving and you know, opening up lanes for other people as well.
Man, look, we appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thandie.
we'll be in the States very soon, Darius. So
okay, what part?
Let me decide.
Okay. Hopefully a warm area.
No, 100%. And also we're buying tickets for Austin for next year. Like we're coming to Austin next year, so
let's do it.
We'll 100% see you at Austin next year. And Thandie's going to send you a link to the merch.
I already have, actually.
Yeah?
Third time.
There you go.
Yes, I have.
And if you want to buy the merch, we're going to put a picture of the merch here. And there's a link below in description to get the merch. There it is. Thank you so much to everyone who has bought a t-shirt. You stood with us whilst we got the website going, and the orders have been coming in from all over the world. I want to shout out whoever ordered from Panama. That's crazy.
Also want to shout out the guy who was walking around
yes,
Kota wearing our merch, and somebody spotted him, and
that was crazy.
And apparently he's bought all our merch, so shout out you.
Shout out Sean. That made me cry. I was knee deep in the website being down for the new merch. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I'm going to scrap it. I'm not even going to look at it this weekend. And then Thandie sent it to me. I literally got so emotional. I was like, oh my God. So someone we don't even know is wearing it, and F1 track. And then someone else noticed it. That they were wearing F1, and it was just like, wow, that our brand is. I looked at the podcast stats. 45% of our listeners are from America. So thank you.
Listen, I keep telling you. I keep telling you.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm trying to get Nyasha to move to the States with me next year, but he won't.
That's awesome. That's reach right there. It's dope when something you create and you know, people start to love it and engage with it and feel it. And I was actually doing the pit walk, and I'm walking. I'm like recording some stuff, and I hear, you know, because regardless of whatever else you do, like something that you, that's like your baby, whatever you create. And I hear somebody like, man to man.
Wow.
It was like one of the dudes, like in security in a suit thing. Like, hey man, I love your show, man. Watch your show, watch your fast. I know how you feel when you saw the person with your merch. Somebody else,
it's crazy. Look, like we said,
that's lovely.
Like we said, man, if build it and they will come, man. You know,
it was like me when I was in Soho House in Berlin.
Yeah, you got recognized out there. Thandie gets recognized all over the world. It's crazy. Yeah, 100%. It's nice for some.
It happened. No, it's not all over the world. It happened in DC twice. Shout out DC. It happened in Berlin. That's it.
It happened in Jamaica or something.
Barbados.
No? No. Okay.
Cool. Oh yeah, that's all over the world.
That really is. But look,
exactly.
we could be here all day about how famous Thandie is. All right, let me tell you, it is far-reaching, worldwide. Look at her. Thank you for posting those lovely pictures on your Twitter today. That was lovely. And thank you. Yeah. Go for it.
I get a bollocking, guys, if I don't put up a certain amount of content in our merch.
Darius, she's
make sure you buy the merch.
I want her to share her.
I tweeted her, hey, drop the link. Drop the link.
Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to just get her along into. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna try.
You ain't got no choice. So, thank you, Darius. You've been an amazing guest. We've got your socials in there, and we'll put all the links to your content in the description. So people, go and check that stuff out, especially if you're into NFL. If you want to get into NFL, check that out. But also check out the stuff on Pat. Check out all the FanDuel stuff, all of the stuff is really good stuff. And thanks for having us in your space the other day.
I've been slandering McLaren merch for a while now, but that cap is sick. Shout out McLaren merch.
I did tune in when you were saying that yesterday, actually.
When I was slandering them.
Thandie, anything else?
Oh, anything else? I'd actually written something down.
Oh, okay. You got an outro for us. It's not taking what we've got, but go for it.
No. Okay, so once the season is over, guys, we have 105 days till F1 restarts, and I think a lot can be achieved in 105 days. Our recent Prime Minister Liz Truss ruined the British stock market in less than 105 days. Jesus rose in 3 days. I had COVID and got over it in 4 days. And Nyasha can finish a vape in 42 hours. So I think, why are you laughing? I just think Mercedes can get their shit together within 100.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Because that's the first time in my life I've ever written a script for myself.
I was like, it was really fun. I was like, oh, you're actually being serious. Like, oh,
I'm being dead serious.
Serious. So wait, are you getting back on the glitch?
Am I getting back on the glitch? Yeah. Oh, the Mercedes glitch. No.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, not until they invite me to like paddock passes, and I want to go paddock club. I have an outfit already.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hint, Darius.
Yeah. If anyone else is watching.
If you ever have a spare one of those paddock passes.
We definitely need some.
You need to walk on
in there.
Yeah, right.
Some more of us in there.
I'm not gonna lie. Let me just call. We've got some people on this who come on this podcast who seem to. Jay from Wolfpack Performance got some paddock passes this weekend. Trayvon, I know you're paddock passer.
I know you're listening.
Mabdul, I know you got some paddock passes in there. Out of all of you, man. One of you must have a spare one. I love you guys. Thank you for coming. We love you guys. And guys, I'm going to go. This is going to be a lovely edit. I can't wait to do this. Can't wait. I could have snitched on you today, Thandie, and I did not. I could have told everyone, but I didn't because I love you. And you know why I love you? Because no matter what happens, you keep it on the black stuff. Have a lovely evening. Goodbye. Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quickstop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.